Imagine you are waking up around 10 or 11 a.m. on a Sunday morning, okay? So when you are opening your eyes, you're seeing a good amount of money kept across all over your bedroom. So what is the first thing that will come to you? Oh my God, am I still dreaming? Okay, but do you really think that something of that kind cannot happen in reality? What if the government is printing unlimited money and sending it to all the people across the country and allowing them to settle their debts and buy whatever they want? Do you think it can happen? Or do you think it should happen? But in reality, is it happening? So let's find out all these things in today's video. Welcome you all to UPSC Warriors channel, and this is Soundarya, your economy educator. So in today's video, I'm going to discuss about what are the conditions in which government is printing money and why the government is not printing it unlimitedly, and what will happen if the government is going to print unlimited money. Okay, so basically what is mean by money? So money is something which we use as what? A medium of exchange, right? So money is something that is used as a medium of exchange whenever we purchase some goods and services, right? Okay, so in the ancient days, we all know that we were using barter system where goods are exchanged for another goods, and slowly and gradually we are now using money. So that is something which is used for exchange of goods and services. And then apart from that, what is the role of the money? We store money as a value. We use money for investments. We use money so as to, expect some amount of inflation and the value to get increased or decreased or whatever it is, right? Fine. But what happens if the money is more? Okay, so if the money is beyond the limit, what is going to happen? For that, you have to understand the meaning of a market. So what is a market? Market is something, it can be anything where the demand and supply is going to meet each other. Okay, so whenever the demand and supply is meeting, that place can be called as what? Market. Again, demand for what? Goods and services. Clear? Supply of what? Goods and services. So whenever this demand and supply is getting meeting, okay, that can be called as what? Market. If it is a commodity market, commodities will be demanded and supplied. So if it is a derivatives market, derivatives will be demanded and supplied, right? If it is a stock market, we will exchange stocks. So simply, wherever this demand and supply is meeting, that can be called as a market. And most importantly, what is happening in the market? People are exchanging goods and services for some consideration. Okay, so what is that consideration? It is the profit. It is not like I demand something and you supply something and so we exchange. It is not happening like that, right? So there is one element called as profit. There is one element called as consideration. So without that consideration or profit, market cannot function. Okay, so why this slide? Here I mean to say that demand and supply are the two important elements that exist so as to have a market, and in order to meet this demand and supply, what we do? We are trying to utilize our resources in the best possible way so that we are able to supply the content that is actually demanded. But just imagine if we are not able to produce enough supply of the goods which are in demand. What will happen to the price of the product? We learnt law of demand and supply, right? So what is law of demand saying? That whenever the product is getting more demanded, or whenever the demand of the product is getting increased, the price will also get increased, right? Why? Why it is happening? It is because we are not able to match this demand with the supply. Okay, say for example, if 5 pens are demanded, of which only 2 is produced or 2 is supplied. So what is happening here? The demand is more than the supply, right? So in this case, the price of the product will increase. Okay, so when there are 5 pens demanded and 5 pens supplied, okay, then we will say that demand is equal to supply and the market is in equilibrium. Okay, now you have to tell me what is that one thing that is altering this particular demand. Okay, so when we will have people to demand 5 pence, one thing, Either they should need 5 pence for some other work, or they should have some extra money in the pocket. Just imagine, when you are waking up, you are finding so much of money all across your room, then you will try to purchase things which you never wanted. Okay, just because you have money, you will go and buy it. In that condition, what is happening? That is creating demand for the product. Okay, so instead of 5 pence, now 10 or 15 pence are demanded, just because people have extra money in their hands. But can you say that instead of this 2 pen that is getting supplied, all of a sudden we can increase the supply of the pen to 15 to match this demand and to have this equilibrium? That is not something possible, right? Here the market equilibrium is getting affected, and what will happen finally? We are not able to increase the production to meet the demand, and we will end up making some 10 pence maximum to 8 pence, right? Okay, now still we have 15 people demanding it. So what we will do? We will increase the price of the pen so as to reduce the demand. So even when the price is increased, if you are still able to purchase it, then you can purchase it. So this is how market is functioning. Okay, so remember this, and now we will see what is going to happen if the money is getting printed unlimitedly. Okay, this can be done whenever the economy is in crisis. Okay, whenever the economy is facing any kind of problems, this can be done to certain extent. We will see what are the conditions, but if it is going unlimitedly, it will lead to all these problems. First thing is inflation. Sorry, I discussed about how the price of the product is getting increased, right? Okay, so whenever the price of the goods and services is getting increased consistently for a long period of time, okay, whenever a range of goods and services witness increase in price rise consistently for a long period of time, we call that as what? Inflation. Again, there are so many reasons for the inflation to happen. Now we will stick on only to this. Okay, so whenever the demand is getting increased, the price of the product will increase. Okay, so whenever the price of the product is increasing, what is happening to the money? The purchasing power of the money getting decreased. The value of the money is getting decreased, right? Why? Initially, if one pen was rupees 10, okay, I was able to buy it. Now the demand of the pen is increased in such a way that it is not matching with the supply. So the supplier is increasing the price of the product, right? Now one pen is around 20 rupees. Okay, so what is happening here? The price of the product is getting increased. The value of the money is getting decreased. Earlier, with just one 10 rupee note, you were able to buy one pen. But now the 10 rupee note has got its value decreased. Okay, the value of 10 rupees is decreased now, with which you cannot buy one pen. Now you need 20 rupees. So this is something called as decrease in purchasing power of the money. So whenever inflation happens, the purchasing power of the money is getting decreased. But just imagine, this increase in demand, okay, which has led to price rise, happened because of what? As there are so many reasons for inflation, one main reason that I want you to remember is increase in money supply in the economy. Okay, so we will take this example. Whenever our parents are giving more money, okay, to us as a pocket money, then what we will do? We will tend to buy more goods and services, right, than we usually do. Why it is happening? Just because we have more money. If the government is printing unlimited money and giving it to all the people, or if the government is printing unlimited money and injecting it into the market, that is going to increase my money supply, and that is going to increase my demand, and that is going to increase the price of the product. Clear? So leading to what? Inflation. In some situations, this can go beyond controllable conditions, leading to hyperinflation, where we will not have enough money with us to buy goods and services because the prices will be just doubled and tripled. So this is something which is not good. That is why we should not go for unlimited printing of money. Economic imbalance, it is very easy. Demand is not getting matched with supply anymore, just because the demand is increased because of increase in money supply. Loss of trust. Obviously, if you are asking money from your friend, as I know, to borrow for something, and if your friend is printing it, taking Xerox and giving it to you, will you trust him? No, na? Simply the government will lose its trust if it is going for repeatedly printing more monies and currencies. And again, I told you hyperinflation is something double digit or triple digit inflation. Okay, again that is going to lead to economic crisis. Then we have international implications. It is because, see, whenever the purchasing value of your money decreases, the value of your local currency with respect to the foreign currency also decreases, right? Clear? So what is happening in this case? Value of rupee is decreasing. With respect to dollar, if it is happening, then it means that your import and export is also going to get affected. Your import is going to get affected because for every dollar you have to spend rupees, right? So when the value of rupee is increasing, probably you have to spend more rupees to get $1 for your imports. Again, that is going to affect your international trade parameters, right? Okay, and then unequal distribution of wealth. Why? Because we know that India is a country which is known for income inequality, wealth inequality, etc. If the government is going to print unlimited money, again that is going to reflect differently to the different sectors of the population, again adding to what? Inequality. Okay, and finally encourages dependency. Who will go and work so hard if the government is giving something for you, I mean for free, and if you are able to get something for free? Okay, so this is how it affects the terms of the trade basically. So printing unlimited money will lead to loss of willingness to work and imbalanced law of demand and supply. These are the two things which you have to remember. How can it help the economy in crisis? It is fine. Printing unlimited money in normal conditions will lead to all the situations which we saw before. But how it can help the economy which is already in crisis? It can help the economy by contributing to public spending. If the economy is going through any problem because of which the money in the hands of the people are less and people are not able to demand anything, then the production in the economy will go down. If the production is going down, the income of the country will decrease, right? So in order to boost the production, the government will go for quantitative easing. Okay, so in that case the government is going to increase the money supply. How? Simply the government can go with subsidies. If the government is giving you more subsidies, your out of pocket expenditure will be less. Now say for example the LPG subsidy we have, so there you are able to save 200 and 300 rupees with which you can demand something. So when there is a demand, the production will happen. When there is a production, the income will generate, right? So if the condition is like that, then the government can print money to inject liquidity in the market, and again if it is going to be spent for the public, then it will help to boost the demand and the consumption. Remember, consumption is one of the important key pillar of the economy and the investment. Okay, so for that we can do printing money again within the limits. Deficit financing. See, deficit financing is something which occurs when the government spend more than what they earn. Okay, if I am earning 50 rupees, but if I am spending 80 rupees for my family, 30 rupees will be my shortage. So I have to meet the 30 rupees through some kind of borrowings. So I borrow and spend. Okay, so in this case, if the government is having some problems related to deficit financing, then it can go for printing money. Okay, in that case it is not going to lead to inflation and all because already the money is less. And then high outstanding debts, of course. So when you have high outstanding debts, especially with the foreign countries like IMF, World Bank and all, obviously you have to repay it, right? On that occasion, we can go for printing money and again within limits. And then recession. So let's see some of the examples where India actually printed currency to solve its problems. So it was during 1991 economic crisis. We all know that BOP crisis happened in 1991. So India had huge amount of high outstanding debts. So it has to repay the outstanding debts. So then it went for printing currency. Okay, and then we have 2008 global financial crisis which led to slowdown in India, and then we had 2013 currency crisis, and then we have 2020 COVID led crisis where the consumption went very low, the demand went very low, and the economy was having a consistently tough period of time. So during these tough situations, printing money is okay, but not during the normal conditions. And even if you are going to do the printing of money in these conditions, you have to take care of the parameters like inflation, you have to take care of your country's growth potential, so as to not, making it, leading to hyperinflation, etc. It is like operation. You have to do it very, very carefully. Otherwise, operation will be success, but patient will be dead. Okay. So India's experience with printing money has been quite good when compared with the other countries' experiences of printing money in tackling the crisis. It is mainly because, again, RBI's cautious approach and the country's strong economic fundamentals. Without having these two things in place, if you are simply going and printing more money so as to solve problems, then that is again going to make you even worse, right? So what are the factors we have to consider? Take care of the country's inflation. If the inflation is within the limit, or if the inflation is consistently stable for a long period of time, if you are going to print money, again, that is not going to lead to a hyperinflation kind of situation, then you can go for it. Then talk about country's GDP. What is the demand? What is the production that is there in the country? And minimum reserves. This is something which is followed by RBI for printing money. That is, it should have minimum of 200 crores as reserves. Okay. So it should have minimum of 200 crores as reserve so as to print money, of which certain proportion will be in gold, certain proportion will be in foreign currencies. And then whenever the currency is soiled, okay, it is not of that good quality, or it is becoming very old, then you can just go and print currency. So these are the parameters that you have to remember. And these are some of the examples of worst case scenarios where these countries went for printing currency to meet their economic crisis, but obviously ended in trouble. So we have Zimbabwe. Okay, in 2008 it was printing currency to solve its economic crisis, but still ended up making it even worse. And then we have Venezuela, we have Germany during the Weimar Republic printing currencies, United States, Japan and Argentina. So go and read about these countries where they went for printing currency and what led to what. And there are some jokes around these countries also. So in Zimbabwe there was a joke where people were saying that government is printing currency too fast, that the ink on the print is even not yet dried, before which the government is printing more and more currencies. Okay, so in Germany, in Venezuela, it was said that the currency paper's value is very less, that it is worth to be used as a toilet paper. So we know about that intrinsic value and face value, right? I hope you all know. So what is this intrinsic value and face value? Intrinsic value is the value of money that it costs to print a currency, and face value is what? Face value is the value that you write on the currency with a signature of the RBI. Say for example, if I have 50 rupees note, okay, the paper in which I am going to make the 50 rupee note, the value of that paper will be called as the intrinsic value, and this 50 is called as the face value. Okay, so whenever the money is losing its value, obviously the value, face value of the money will go even very lesser than the intrinsic value. Okay, so this is all for today. I hope you have some clarity about on what occasions government can print money, and if the government is not doing it cautiously, what it is going to lead to. Okay, so in the next video we are going to continue with our basics of economy series, and in the maybe we have done some 3 videos so far, right? So totally I'm planning to make 15 videos to cover all the basic terms in the economy. So please do go and watch those videos also, and also watch the daily news analysis that we are bringing in our channel. And if you have not subscribed to channel, please subscribe to UPSC Warriors. Thank you. See you. Bye bye.